Hello, welcome to the intro video for Smalley's Math 2414 Calculus 2 course for summer 2017. And now, of course, you've probably gotten beyond this point here if you're already watching this video, but just want to show you that a couple different ways you can get to the course. You can go straight up here through LSC Online and click on this, and then leave class login right there. That works, and you can go straight to this. So sometimes if you're having a problem with My Lone Star, you could go that route. But you also can just go straight through My Lone Star like this, name and password. If you wanted access to your entire account, you can check other stuff, and then come over to the LSC Online right here, and then go to course that way. So there's two different ways, either LSC Online from the home page or via My Lone Star. And so obviously you won't have all these lists of courses, but we'll come over here. Now we come in here and run through all the content. So I'll just change roles here for a second, just to show you what it looks like from your perspective. You have a green button to get started. And let's see, over here to the right, very important, all these calendar due dates. You want to make note of all these. I'll come back to that here in a minute. When these quizzes are due, and then when the exams are due. That sort of thing. So very important we pay attention to that, because everything's already set up for that, except for I have to send the information to the Lone Star testing centers and then other ones that are being used. But the test itself is ready. So I'm going to go back to faculty. But anyway, the main thing your three main interests here are content, grades, and assessments. So I'm going to go back to my role as faculty. You'll see the same three tabs up there. Obviously, you won't see an edit course tab because that doesn't affect you. But content, that's where all the information is. So it doesn't hurt to go in there and just start clicking around, look and see what you have. You're not going to hurt anything here. A table of contents, course syllabus, and other assorted documents. That's just sort of like my dumping ground for random files and things, other things that are more organized by title. You see lecture notes, lecture videos, things like that. But let's go into this first one and see what we have here. So you see right at the top, syllabus. I have a PDF file of the 9th edition of the Larson book, and which is you can use that obviously if you want to, or frankly you can use any calculus course, calculus book for this course, because you're not going to be required to submit any kind of special problems number where you have to know the number out of a textbook or anything like that. So anything that has the proper content. Now 9th or 10th edition, my notes, I have a couple of suggested practice lists for the 9th and 10th edition. Those aren't mandatory, but which just means you can practice, from any textbook. I'll leave this up here because I don't plan on changing the final this summer. I don't do this for every exam, but for the final, because it covers everything, I condense it for you and tell you what type of problems are going to be on there. Well, I'm going to get rid of this file because I'm making this new video now. So yeah, so you'll see the new one just for this course. I'll put it back in there after I publish this video. Let's see, formulas. These will be provided with the exams, but obviously I think it's a good idea to keep a copy of this convenient, where you can know what you're going to be provided with. That way you'll know for sure. You still have to know all your basic Cal 1 derivatives and the rules, like product quotient rule, the basic trig derivatives. But so whatever's not on here, you can assume that you would have to know. So let's go back. And here's just a summary sheet I photographed out of the textbook that's not provided. If you just a quick thing to see uh, how to basic integrals and derivatives, perhaps you've forgotten. And I've attached a couple other things: Khan Academy, a link, D2L resources for students. I don't even know what all's in that thing, but we'll talk about these files here in a minute. But let's pop that syllabus out here. And so anytime you want to download these to a file, you scroll all the way down to the end and hit download. Drop it to a nice PDF file for you, because the screen in D2L probably won't show too much at once. Since you are obviously capable of reading this, I'm going to skip right through this unless I see any blatant mistakes or if you see anything. All right. What we're going to cover, that doesn't mean much now. Here's a book. I just show a picture of the Larson 10th and the Larson 9th. I have the 9th PDF, but whatever you want to use is fine. Graphing calculator is okay, but anything like a TI-89 or an Inspire CAS or other ones I may add to the list here that if they can do symbolic derivatives or integrals, in other words, algebraic stuff, those are forbidden on exams. And I have that in the instructions for the testing centers. I guess this part doesn't apply about clearing a calculator. That would only apply for my face-to-face class. So, because I'm not going to be watching you while you take these exams. So if you do want to use that Larson book, this website, calcchat.com, do some odd problems. It's like basically a printed solution manual for the odds. In other words, it shows some steps other than just the answer. So that's, better than just the answer. Doesn't mean you can't ask me a question, because it may still have skipped a step that you needed to see or something like that. But, still better than just seeing the answer alone. So homework's not specifically required or graded. Now these quizzes, now the name quizzes is a little bit of a misnomer. You can almost think of these as being homework sets, because these aren't what you call live action quizzes, meaning, in other words, you're taking the quiz in real time. It's more like a homework set. I've always debated whether I wanted to change the name of the title of this or not, but I've left it. Most people just say, leave it as quizzes. And when I go back to D2L, you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. But anyway, in other words, because what they are, these are like you have the problems in advance. You have a PDF file of the problems. You work the problems, and then you'll go into D2L when you're ready to, all you'll do then is submit your answers. And there's 10 of those, and the lowest 4 is going to be dropped, so the best 6 will average to form the quiz grade, quiz average. Now, I do mention here that, I don't do this on purpose, but every once in a while D2L will scramble the answer choices, but it's not going to change the values. So just be careful when you're taking, but I usually set them for like 60 minutes, but you're only entering the answers to 10 questions, which probably won't take you 5 minutes, but so there's no excuse to feel like that you had to hurry to go through it. You can't use that as a valid excuse. But just look, let's say you work a problem and you know the answer is 2 pi. You've worked it out, you're certain it's 2 pi. Well, 2 pi might be letter choice A on the PDF file, but it might be letter choice, the 4th letter choice D or something on the actual D2L quiz. But if you know the answer is 2 pi, pick 2 pi as your answer. Okay, so that usually doesn't cause too much issue. Just be careful as you're going through there. I can't figure out how to make it not do that. I'm not doing that. So we have 3 exams taking at a Proctor testing center of my approval, which of course includes all Lone Star testing centers, but I've had people use testing centers, Texas A&M, University of Texas, community colleges in various cities. Those are all fine. You can't really have you can't ask me to let your, Aunt Martha or Uncle Michael to proctor your test. So it has to be something that's okay with me, but any community college type of testing center is going to be fine. But if you're taking these at Lone Star, you don't have to tell me anything. Just go to they'll send automatically to every Lone Star testing center. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm based out of University Park, but you take all your tests out of Montgomery if that's where you closest one to you. So, but anything that's not a Lone Star campus would have to be worked out with me. Every once in a while I get an email asking about, hey, can I take them at Sci-Fair? Just so I thought I would mention that, help clarify that up. Okay, so we've got basically we're going to have a final exam. We've got 3 regular exams. 1, 2, 3. And then the quiz grade. So the quiz grade, is the average of those 6 out of the 10 that I mentioned before. 6 out of 10 counts essentially as an exam score. And that means the lowest of those 4 are dropped. So, most people, 95+% of the people would use the quiz grade probably as one of their averages, but you don't have to. And that's usually if somebody's doing really, really well. Let's say if maybe somebody made 100 and 296s on the exams and their quiz grade was 92. Well, then the quiz grade would get dropped. But for most people, it's going to be helpful. It's going to be something you want to have, but you don't have to have. That's the key. So the lowest of those 4 is dropped, and they're all equally weighted at 25%. And then to make 75%, the finals automatic. It counts 75%, 25%, standard looking grading scale. And okay, this is just stuff I've used in the past. Before I started making these videos, which has helped out a lot. These videos have helped out a lot of people. I get much fewer questions at the beginning, but please feel free to ask me questions. Though I'm just saying this helps a little bit. But this is just sort of, you can read that. The mentioned the exams are going to be multiple choice, and I'll have a grading scale where they're sort of kind of adjusted for you in a positive manner, sort of like a general partial credit thing that everybody will get. In fact, I believe I've adjusted the Cal 2 exams for this term to all be, like my Cal 1, to all be 20 questions each. And the grading scale I use for that is 104 maximum minus 4 points off for each one missed. That's what I'll use. I'll double check that they're all 20. Final's a little bit different because there's 25 questions, but I'll provide. I'll let you know all that. Main thing is just that's not something you want to worry about. Just do your best, and if you do well, it'll be fine. All right. So always watch for news items. Check D2L regularly. There's a bunch of just general Lone Star policies. Okay, we don't need all that. But so you can read this. So, and obviously go through this syllabus more carefully if you want to. That's great. And let's go back to the D2L screen here. So let's go back over course content. So here are the quizzes. I need to renumber these one of these days, but this quiz, so there are 10 quizzes. 0 through 9 is 10 numbers. Quiz 0 is actually a Calculus 1 review, basic stuff in Cal 1, derivatives, integrals, nothing weird like that. It's only stuff that would be relevant for this class. Frankly, we're not going to ever see related rates in this class. That may disappoint you, or optimization, but the main stuff from Cal 1, limits, derivatives, and integrals. That's the key to prep for this class. But so what you do is you come over here when you're going to do a quiz. I think this one's doing about 3 or 4 days after class starts, so you'll want to hit the ground running, but it's just from Cal 1. And anyway, you go through these, and then when you, this is true for every quiz. So these are the PDF files. You can download those if you need to print them, knock yourself out. So you see this here, 10 quizzes. But you'll go over here to the assessments quizzes. And you see everything's listed in here, and these dates are all shown in the calendar. But you can come here in case the calendar, maybe, I guess you can scroll down farther, and the calendar only shows part of it at the time. So you come over, you'll see it's up there by June 29th. You've got to get this first quiz done, so don't waste time getting started. So you'll click on the quiz, you'll start it, you'll submit. Just make sure you have to open it up before 10 p.m. Now this one, for some reason, I guess that's a typo. Okay, I'll just show. Obviously, this is not something you'll see how to edit the quizzes, but I try to make them all consistent, being due at 10 p.m. just so you'll know exactly. But for this type of maybe other learning system packages might work differently. But the way this one works is, this one just means you have to open it up by 10 p.m. Just open it up before 10 p.m. Don't wait till even 10 p.m. obviously, but that means you'll still get the full 60 minutes allotment of time to get your answers in, as long as you open it before that time. So here I got the quizzes. Quiz 0 is Cal 1. Quiz 1, 2, and 3. I'll go back and show you that. Anyway, let me finish this first before I go back. Now the exams have a little padlock on them. That means they're password protected. That's the idea of the proctor of the testing center. I send them the information with the password. They enter the password. The quizzes are not password protected. But don't open. The key is, do not open these quizzes up until you're ready to submit your answers. That's the key. That's why I hope people pay attention to that carefully and don't sleep through this video. The good news is, if you think you dozed off during it or something, you can watch it again. So don't open the quiz by mistake until you're ready for your answers. But the quizzes, because the quiz 0 is a review, but then 1 through 3 would relate to exam 1, 4 and 5 are for exam 2, 6 and 7 relate to exam 3, and 8 and 9 are content that's on the final, but not on an exam, which I'll go back and show you that right now. So there's where you'll go to enter your quizzes. I'm going to go back up here to this miscellaneous file. This shows you how to view your quizzes and exams. Now this shows you quiz entry, so you can look at that if you need to. But this is kind of useful. Once you figure it out one time, you're fine. But the quizzes are available an hour after that due date. So if a quiz is due at 10, you have time to enter your answers. And so that's another thing too. You'll see your grade if you enter the quiz. But if you ask me, hey, I made a 90, which one did I miss? Unfortunately, I don't release them until the same time for everybody, so you can't see it until then. That's fine. In other words, like if people are working together, that's fine. I can't stop that, but I'm just doing that so I don't actually just provide the answer key for the first person that takes the quiz, essentially. So you can't see them until that submission deadline, which is an hour after the due time. But it'll show you your grade immediately. But anyway, what you have to do is you actually go to the quiz, and I could see myself making this mistake. Let's say you've submitted the quiz and you know it's past the deadline, and you want to go look at it, see what you missed. It would be tempting to go in there and click on that blue, the blue quiz label, quiz 1 or quiz 0. Click on that. Nothing's going to happen. It's not going to do anything, because that only means it wants you to take the quiz, not view the quiz. So that's why I won't respond. So what you have to do is you have to click the drop down arrow next to the quiz, click on submissions, and then you'll be able to, and there'll only be one attempt of these quizzes, because mainly you're taking, you already have the problems in advance. So, and then you'll click on attempt 1, and that's how you'll view it. So hopefully that won't cause anybody any troubles. If you watch this video carefully, it should not. All right, but I could see how that could be confusing if I hadn't shown you that. Done anything else here from now? No. Don't need anything there. Let's come over here to lecture notes. And you see how I have them grouped? Exam 1, Exam 2, Exam 3. So you know exactly what section is going to be on what exam. In other words, you'll know, yeah, there's no question. And this parametric and polar, this is the last part of the course. This is the one when I was showing you in the quiz section, that was the part that was quiz 8 and 9 that are after exam 3 and before the final. They're on this stuff right here. I posted some important notes to Cal 1. Maybe one day, that's fine. Mainly it just covers the stuff you really like, the limits, the derivatives, and the integrals. So that's, like I said, I left off stuff. I have some pre-cal notes in there you're welcome to look at. I might get rid of this file because the notes have changed quite a bit. They wouldn't match that, so I'll probably delete this folder. So I guess obviously you won't know what I'm talking about if I delete it. Well, it won't be there. You'll see it in the video. Let's see. I have some. I did this for people who've asked in the past. My Cal 3 notes. These are up to date. So please feel free to help yourself. If you're going to Cal 3, like to have these notes, just go to. That way you don't have to send me a message to ask to, hey, will you send me your Cal 3 notes? Go in there and click on that download like I showed you and download each one of them and pop them on a flash drive and they're yours. But I believe the quiz, let me go back to the quizzes for a minute. Like, I think uh-oh. Quiz 1's popping up quiz 8. Okay, we've already got an issue here that I've got to fix. That's no good. Let me try another one. Okay, well, I'll go fix that quiz 1, obviously, and check all these. But anyway, here's what I was talking about. You see that, okay, I didn't have them in the title. Maybe I'll change them in the title if I remember, but since you can click and save these. Now, so this tells you what sections relate to the quiz. That's what I was trying to show you there. So I'm glad we found that other one. Let me click on another one of these. I don't want to waste a lot of your valuable time by just checking every one of them right now when I can do that myself. Yeah, so you see this one tells you what sections it relates to. So I'm pretty sure I'll check the quiz. You're probably wondering, is it going to be the wrong quiz entry if I put the wrong PDF there? I'll double check that. That doesn't necessarily mean the case. Just because I have the wrong PDF here doesn't mean the quiz itself will be wrong when you enter it. But I got to get the right file there for you. So that should be done short. I'll do that by the time you first look into this class. That should be fixed. All right, so I'll go back and check each one of those quizzes and make sure they're okay. Back to course content and lecture notes. Now, lecture videos, I don't really have any for Cal 2 yet. That's empty. There's a bunch of Cal 1s that I've gotten done. If you need to go over anything on that you wanted to hear it actually explained, I mean, my notes are there. But if you want to see anything explained, you can go. I may update the Cal 1 notes to all the course, maybe. But, well, I'm going to get some videos posted. There are some I'll show you here in a minute, but I'll get some lecture videos. I can't guarantee I'll get the entire course done in the amount of time we have, but I'll get some done. But importantly, let's go over here, exam reviews. So I think between studying the notes, the quizzes, see, the quizzes don't cover everything. That's why you got to focus on these exam reviews also. In other words, the quizzes relate to the material on the test, but there certainly can be test questions that don't come from anything that's on a quiz. But it was part of the content. I just didn't put it on a quiz. Exam reviews. So you see I have sample problems for exam 1, solutions, which are just the worked out solutions, and then 3 separate videos. I did them a few at a time because I was having like crashing issues and I was getting frustrated. So then it started working. I just did a few problems at a time, grouped them by 14s. And so I wouldn't try to do all of them at once, then have the video crash and have to start over. It's terrible. And same thing for sample problems for exam 2. I haven't done one for the final. I have the solutions. I don't know if I'll do a video yet for that. I might do that before anything, but there is something I need to do. Okay, looks like, oh, these videos are okay for this. I decided for the videos here, instead of the, it's not symmetric as far as the number of problems covered. I did it by sections of content in the Larson book. So like these problems 19 through 30 relate to 8.4 and 8.5 in the Larson book. Well, anyway, the review for exam 3 that I had before was not very good. It needed to be overhauled. So I just recently fixed it. But the problem is I now need to work out the solutions for it and then make a video. The one, I just never did like the one. I just made it what I thought was a lot better for the students. But anyway, so I got to do that. So my top priority before I even think about doing any lecture videos is my top priority for you folks is to get this sample exam 3 solutions worked out and then make a video for that. And then we'll be in business. and then I may do the final. I'll see how that goes before I get back to any lecture videos. But one thing to keep in mind, for what sections obviously for the videos, I want to make sure I focus on what historically students have found to be the most challenging material. That's the most important. And but you can, if you're stuck on something, I don't have a video for it or anything, is you can go to the review problems, pick a problem off the review that relates to what topic you're studying, and then you can find the explanation for that particular problem in this video. So at a minimum, you will see every type of problem explained at least once, regardless of whatever actual, full section videos that I do. So you can kind of hunt through these. Let's say this chapter 8 is probably the toughest material in the course. I'm not trying to scare you there, but historically it is. So let's say this 8.4 and 8.5, which is trig substitution and partial fractions. If I don't have a video ready for that by the time you're studying this, you can, like I say, focus on my explanation for those problems with the same basic idea anyway. So you have those to at least cover whatever type of problem you need. And then obviously anytime I make a new video, I always make an announcement just so I don't expect you don't have to, in other words, every day automatically jump in and look. You can if you want to. Open this folder. Is there anything new? Anything new? I will tell you whenever there's something new. So I think that went through the syllabus, explain the quiz process, work the problems out, enter the answers. Exams are taken, testing center, they're multiple choice. You'll take it online. You'll submit your answers in D2L. They will be instructed to allow scratch paper, obviously. You can write out stuff. And I think I've covered everything here. Let me just double check. There's all our notes. You see, so the group by exam. Okay, let's see. All right, I think I'll get rid of some of that then. So, all right, I believe then that will conclude this video. Drop me a line, drop me a email message. And one thing to keep in mind is if you email me through here, D2L, it's guaranteed to be successful. But sometimes if people email me from Gmails and other certain types of things, it goes to my spam folder, which I'll get it eventually. But so that could be an issue, the delay on it showing up in the spam folder. But if you email me through D2L, I'm guaranteed to get it in my Lone Star email for sure. So, well, I just want to mention that. So, just let you know. So, I think we've got everything. So, drop me a line. I hope we do really well. I've had pretty good success with these online courses. So, but that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. So, work hard, and I think you will do fine. Best of luck.